So hello everyone and welcome back to the 1 Point Safety Show with myself, Scott Hartley, and my co-host, Scouse Andy. It's really his show. How are you, Scouse? You all right, mate?
You're not wrong, bro. But yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, this week's flown by.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah, man.
hot
Busy,
weather
busy.
or what we call
Brutal.
hot weather in the
Brutal.
UK.
Yeah.
Yes, it
We're
has
not used
reached
to it,
the,
man. We're not used to it.
yeah,
That's what it
it
is.
has reached the higher heights of 90 Fahrenheit if you're listening in America, or 30 degrees Celsius. So
Mhm.
yeah, we are not used to this with not having aircon. So very strange times for the middle of June anyway. But I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. I'd just rather be in a beer garden than sitting in work, to be fair. But there you go. So
100%, man.
we've got a bit of news this week, Scouts, and I didn't expect us to have much to talk about, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Obviously, training camp and OTA practice on Tuesday was cancelled, but they did hold the day to have meetings for rookies. So obviously, Ron Rivera and the coaching staff must seem that these guys are okay, considering we lost time for OTAs as well this year. So he must think we're either ahead of schedule or he's quite happy with where we are. So what are your thoughts on that one, losing a day's OTA practice?
Well, it's not, I don't think it's going to make a massive difference, to be fair. I think we mentioned last week, there's like 6 or 7 weeks now before the next time they get together. So what's an extra day of practice going to make a massive difference, especially to the veterans? Highly unlikely going to make any difference. So I can understand. I'm probably just getting brownie points with the players, to be fair, as well. So yeah, I'm not too bothered about it, to be fair.
No, I've got no real inclination either way. I'm not fussed about it in any way, shape, or form. To be honest with you, it really doesn't bother me in the slightest bit. We obviously spoke last week around having the 6 weeks off, and strange that they do this halfway through. I still can't work
Yeah,
this out for the life
yeah.
of me.
There's no way in hell you do this in soccer over here. There's no
Not a
chance,
chance, or
So
or any other sport really.
yeah, true. Once
Rugby
you're
wouldn't
back, you're
do it.
back. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean? That's what it is. It's not you're back and then you fuck off for 6 weeks. Then what's that about? It doesn't make sense to me that. But
really
yeah.
strange in it.
Mm.
Really, really strange. Um, Chase Young, if I get my teeth in properly, Chase Young trade rumors. Lots and lots and lots of trade rumors going on since some of the YouTube experts, the so-called big channels that have got NFL subscriptions on there, talking about Chase Young rumors. I said it again. What am I doing here today? I really need to get my
Get
teeth
your
in.
teeth in, lad.
Absolutely. Talking about him going to the Steelers, talking about him going to the Bears. There's been talk about him going to the Seahawks as well. They've all apparently showed an interest, but the Steelers have showed the most interest. So Simon Thurston's obviously asked us a question on this as well, saying, "Do you think there's any substance in the Chase Young rumors?"
I think substance, yes. I think there is. There's too many rumors to go about that. It can't just be, you know, media guys just trying to throw some mud and hope that it sticks. I think there is definitely something behind it, and I think especially Tomlin's a big fan of Chase. I think we played them. We went there and beat them, and they're
Yeah, that's
11
right.
0 or
Yeah,
something like that, 10-0 at the time. We went there and beat them, and at the end of the game, you saw Tomlin chase, and Tomlin went, "We're never." Said, "I'm upset because we're never going to be able to pick somebody that high as someone like you, because obviously they're never going to pick number two ever in the draft." That's basically what he was trying to say.
yeah, he
So,
was.
so he's a big fan of Chase. So if he thinks he can get him on the cheap, then hell yeah, he's going to try and pull an offer in, isn't he? So
So, what would it take then for you to trade Chase Young then, if that's the case? Because obviously we've declined his fifth-year option. I don't want to see him go, perfectly honest with you. I want to see him ball out. I want him to do the best he can be. But what sort of trade compensation are you looking at? Or are you waiting to the trade deadline and then going, right, let's trade him at the trade deadline for what the
yeah,
maximum we can get out of him?
I think that's the way to go about it, because at the very least, right, if he walks at the end of the season, we get a third round compensatory pick.
Yeah.
So that's the bare minimum. So anybody coming in this season saying, "Hey, we want Chase," it's got to be a minimum second rounder. It's
So
got to be a minimum.
is that a 2024 third round or is it 25?
I'm sure it was the season that he left. So like the following knock on season. So I thought it was like
Right,
next.
okay.
So if he goes the end of this season, it's next draft, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So we would get a third round compensatory pick for Chase there. But so right now, if someone comes in right now and says I want him, it's going to have to be a minimum of a second rounder. But realistically, you're going to want a first, aren't you? Because the talent's like the ceiling's so high for him. So, but you're not going to get that realistically at this point. So,
No.
because of his injury, no one knows how he's really going to be. Is he going to be worth that first round pick or even a couple of first round picks? I've heard people say, you know, it might even take 2 first round picks to take him, but I can't see that's a bit high. Like, but yeah, I think closer to the trade deadline, if he is balling out, then you got 2 options. Then you're going to have a lot more trade interest with genuine offers that could turn your head. Or we could just franchise tag him and keep him at the end of the season anyway. So if he's balling out, but he's got to be balling out. If he's a waste of time, if he's awful or he gets injured again or something like that, then he's gonna go on a free for a third rounder. That's what it's gonna go. So
I think you've got to hope that he doesn't get injured as well, or there's no reoccurrence of that, because you're losing all your leverage then completely. At the end of the day, I think Washington have lost the leverage already with Chase, whether we like it or not, by not picking up his 5th-year option.
Well, we thought that with Deron, didn't we, as well? So, and obviously he wanted to stay, and he balled out, and he got paid. So there is a pathway there for Chase to get paid here if he really wants to stick around. I mean, you might not even want to stick around. You might not want to be around. You might not want to be the homegrown local hero. You might want to go somewhere else and just go, you know what, I want to get rid of Washington, get out my hair, those type of things. So you might play poorly.
Could do.
I just hope that, because he's a machine, I just hope like that he wants to put some good tape on out there so people can actually go, if they want him at the end of the season, that you're gonna have a lot of interest. He's gonna get paid.
It's funny, isn't it? Because I mean, I was thinking about this the other day, and we were looking at it, and we were saying we were hoping we were going to get a better side of Nick Bosa, or even the level of potential of Nick Bosa, and instead it seems like we've got Jadeveon Clowney. But
yeah,
I mean,
and
at
that's
the moment,
the killer, isn't it? That's the killer, isn't it?
I
mean, because that's what you expect. You expect a game-wrecking player at number 2 overall.
Absolutely,
that's what you expect. So you expect a Nick Bosa type of level, Joey Bosa type level guys. That's what you expect from a 2nd-round pick. That's what you expect. Unfortunately, he's just not worked out for him. But
look at Aiden Hutchinson at the Lions. He kind of lived up to that hype. Almost. It took a bit more time, but he lived up to that level of pick.
He hammered us, mate. Week 3, wasn't it?
He did.
Week 2, week
he
3.
Did. Week 2. I think you're right. Week 2, yeah.
He destroyed us, maybe. We had no answer for him, and I didn't even think he was that good. Like, coming out of college, I thought, he's all right. He's got talent, sure, but he's not a Bosa, or he's not even a Chase Young.
Yeah, I agree.
Coming in and absolutely balling out. He's been excellent all last season. So,
and I mean, no disrespect to Jadeveon Clowney, but he came in with that reputation from college of being this absolute game wrecker. If we look back at it, that was the reputation he had. And injuries derailed him, and he didn't really settle down.
And that's the thing. The injuries killed him off. I mean, he got injured in the last part of the season, didn't he, for college? And he still went number 1, but he needed microfracture surgery of his knee, which takes ages.
I've had that.
You know what it's all about. And it takes bloody ages to get back. And these guys, these guys are playing at the elite level, and it's very difficult to come back to that level, and I don't think he's ever lived up to his hype. But I think it's because of that original bad injury,
So while we're on the subject then, obviously we talked about trading Chase, and we talked about what compensation we think we're going to get. I would probably accept a 2nd-round pick here, realistically now. I think you're going to be...
Well, if someone goes today, it's a 2nd-rounder.
Yeah, today, 2nd-rounder, absolutely, yeah. But obviously, if he balls out and we're at the trade deadline, you could probably push that to a 1st-rounder or some sort of compensation, maybe a 2nd-rounder and another pick,
or something like that,
to make it up. But we have to look at other people who've been traded out of that trade cost. I mean, Jeff Okudah, he traded for a 4th-round pick. Gone. Same. What was he? One pick after Chase Young?
Because he wasn't ball. Yeah, he was third, wasn't he? He was third overall pick. And the thing is that he didn't ball out. He didn't play that well.
Injured
for them,
as well.
And injured a lot as well. So that's the problem. You see, that's why it's such a lottery. The draft. I mean, you expect, top 10 players. You expect them to be the dog's bollocks, don't you? You expect them to be like a real true. Maybe a game changer, or at least an excellent player anyway, at the very least.
Oh, look, especially if you're top 5.
I mean, look at Clem Farrell as well for a few years back from Mayock's time at the Raiders. Bloody fucking shite. I mean, I think he went 5th, or 4th or 5th. I think he was.
Yeah,
Cleveland Farrell. Yeah. He was awful, man. He was grade A awful. And I think that's just mean there's so many misses as well as hits in the
who went 1st overall for the Jaguars last year? I can't remember his name now. Was it? Oh, I can't even remember his name
First
now.
overall for the Jags.
Yeah, yeah. Was it Jags last year? Was the first overall pick.
Lawrence.
No,
You're talking
Walker.
about, am I?
Was it Walker?
Oh yeah. The linebacker slash
The end. Yeah, yeah.
the end type
Yeah.
guy. Yeah. He
He
killed us as
was.
well. He killed
Yeah.
us. He had a good game against us, didn't he?
He
First
had a good
game
game
last
against us, but
season.
he wasn't amazing though, was he? That's the thing, and that's like a.
I think he's solid. I think he's better this year. I think he's better again.
So while we're talking about Chase Young, Canada Mike Allen's asked us here for Scouse. He said, "With your knowledge of Chase's injury and modern day medical science, is 99 finished after the next hit he takes, or can he be really as good as new?"
Well, I think they're two extremes, to be fair. I think you're going to be getting it kind of in between that. I don't think he's going to be as good as new. No one's 100% after one of them. We talked about Clowney with that other injury, which is not as bad as what Chase has had. So you think about Clowney from that angle. He came back after 12 months and he played and he was okay, solid, but he wasn't a game wrecker. And I think that might be the case with Chase. I just hope that he is built differently because he is an absolute unit and he is absolute, he looks sharp. He looks sharp in all the drills and all the plyometric work that he's going to need to be.
Look good, yeah.
And I think, maybe he'll be a better level of player than Clowney. However, won't be as good as new. And I can't see him. And I think as soon as he gets a proper hit on that knee, like a real hit, then we'll know what his mentality is all about, I think. Because I don't think he really got hit that much on that knee. I think people were trying to be not easing off on him, but you know what I mean? Like they weren't like chop blocking him. They weren't kind of, really trying to do some like naughty stuff, you know what I mean? Which you see all the time.
Yeah.
He didn't get any of that the second time when he came around at the end of last season. So when you start seeing a bit more of that, see how his knee reacts and see how his mentality is. But again, the knee is going to be as solid as it is. I mean, he's been rehabbing for nearly enough 2 years. That's need to be fair. But besides 3 games, he's basically rehabbed for nearly 2 years. So his knee is going to be as strong as it's ever going to be. This guy is putting himself through the paces. So is the team. So is his other coaches. So is Von Miller and all the other guys. So for me, his knee is as solid as it's going to be. So it's all about confidence and can he get back to that level? And I think that's all it's going to be about. So he's in between. I think to answer Mike's question. I can't see him going one hit and he's done. I can't see it being like that, and I can't see it being that he's going to be like the Chase form, rookie year or a college when he just destroyed teams. So hopefully we can get a B grade player. Hopefully out of it all.
You hope so. You hope to see what you saw during his rookie season, but I'm not sure we can ever get back to that level. Being perfectly honest with you,
it just depends if he can, mate. But then the guy's he's a mentality monster, then isn't he? You know what I mean? Like he's come back from horror injury, and come back to play at a high level. Then that's the hats off to him if that happens. But it's just kind of just got to wait and see how it goes first, Mike.
So Adam Rank, the NFL expert who does all of the predictions, last year he predicted us as 3-14.
You mean Adam is Rank? You mean Adam is Rank? Yeah.
Last year he predicted us 3-14 for 2022. This year his expert record has us as 5-12. We have the 8th hardest schedule for the season moving forward. Thoughts on that 5-12? Think that's a bit disrespectful?
Of course, it's disrespectful. I mean, the thing is, though, none of us do we expect anything different. We always get the same shit every fucking year, man. It's the same thing. At least this year, he gave us 5 wins. Against the hardest schedule. So he must think we have improved. So, it's so I suppose that's a slight kudos, I suppose, if you want to call it that. But still low ball.
The way it looked, I mean, if you actually watch it across, it's the way it looked is we snuck a win against the Cowboys on final week. And I was just like, so we had us at 4 wins.
Snuck a win. We fucking dominate that game. They were playing for a fucking possibly to win the division. And we come in here with half a team and destroyed them. So don't give us none of that shit rank.
He's done the same thing again this year. He said we'll sneak a win. We'll sneak a win against.
We'll sneak a win. I mean, have you got the Bears this year? Because I know he's a Bears fan, isn't he?
Yeah, we have got the Bears Thursday night.
We got them again. Yeah. Let's smoke these again, boys. Let's see you crying in your fucking Wheaties. Huh? Fuck off.
A bit of a scousing sizzle there. I like that. We're getting there. That's
Fucking
got you
Adam,
riled
fucking
up.
rank, mate. Yeah.
That's got you riled up. That I like that. So a little bit other news. We've got a new dog. Goldie the service dog.
What is this about me? What is this?
I just thought that the videos were a bit too much. Like, why are you
Yeah,
getting Ron Rivera ringing a
yeah,
dog?
Ron fucking ringing him. Yeah, what's all that about, man? I don't get it. I really
It
don't
was
get it.
it
I
was
know it's a bit
cringy
of
that.
fun, a bit of a laugh, yeah, but it's fucking awful, bro.
It was proper cringy that one. I'll be honest with you.
Oh man,
I know why they're doing it. It's a service dog. I'm quite pleased with the promise behind it. That I understand why they're trying to do what they're doing for a veteran. Fantastic, good idea. You'll be around with the team all year. This is moving on from we had Mando last year, didn't we? Was the other dog. So this is the second one, and he's a little pup, golden retriever called Goldie. Great.
Goldilocks.
The less said about that, the better.
That's you, mate. Goldilocks, mate. It's you, the blonde hair.
I don't know about that, mate. My hair's slightly autumn sunset, as they call it, burnt russet. I don't know. As gingers can't stay out in the sun very long, so yeah, burnt sienna. Hard Knocks
burnt ends.
Burnt ends. Yeah. Hard Knocks is still out there. So the NFL have apparently reached out to the Lions to do a second consecutive season. The NFL can force either the Commanders, Jets, Saints, or Bears to do Hard Knocks, but they're facing resistance from all of the teams. Now, I know that Coach Rivera's come out and said he never wants to do Hard Knocks or anything like that again, since he did it in Carolina. And I don't think they've got very high hopes of us getting Hard Knocks this year. I mean, would you like to see it, Scouse, just from a fan standpoint to watch it?
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, I'd really like to see the real inner workings of the team and how it goes on a day-to-day basis, and because we always get the same old answers, don't we? Like as media people and listen to the media and listen to the press conferences, it's all the same old, same old. So it'd be nice to see something a little different, And I think, but again, I can understand why they don't want it. Obviously, Ron doesn't want it, so that doesn't help. But because obviously Jason was interested in his understudy who he spoke to in the bunker a few weeks back. She said the same thing, that they would be actually happy to do it and want it because they'd want to show that if everything's changed around here, so the national press can get a little taste of, look, man, this is not the same shithole like it was a few years back. This is okay. You still got the same shithole stadium, but besides that, we're actually on the right path, But maybe the new owners, maybe they don't want to get involved in that just yet because they're just getting their feet wet. I mean, there could be so many different factors why our head brass don't actually want us to have it at this moment. But as a fan, 100%, I'd love to see what's going on and how this takeover happens and all that. Would be great. But
yeah, I think it shakes out in the end that we don't get it this year. I think we get it next year. New head coach, possibly. New owner, all that sort of stuff. He's had his feet wet.
No, there's a rule. You can't have it if a new head coach.
Oh, yeah, you can't. You're right. Absolutely. Yeah, you can't have it if it's a new head coach. Bang on. So maybe they think we avoid it.
So yeah, so either we avoid it this way for 2 years minimum. If we lose Ron, that is, because if we do well, one stays.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I'm hoping that we do well. So I want him to stay. So I want him to be here next season. But obviously we'll have to see how things pan out.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It'll be an interesting one.
To be fair, just give it to the Jets, man, because I'd like to see
the
Rodgers.
Jets. I
just want to see Rodgers getting high, sipping on his toad, fucking serum or whatever it is he drinks.
Toad venom, yeah.
That's it, toad venom, that's it. Yeah. Imagine just being there, just sitting there high, like, Imagine that on Hard Knocks. Brilliant.
Crazy, I know, absolutely crazy. So Juicelicious has come with a few questions this week, and he's asked us actually one that was really good, and it's a pertinent point here. It's been a year now since Jack Del Rio's outspoken comments, obviously around the Jan 6 riots and the dust up comments that he came out with. That's exactly a year today that these came out.
Wow. Okay.
Obviously, he was saying he's surprised that JDR has been able to weather the storm. Obviously, it lit the ignition fuse on Twitter and then went full mushroom cloud with the media. And he was of the opinion that JDR's bags were packed and that was it. He was gone.
He was done. He was done. Yeah.
But he's lasted it out for a year, and we've got a really good defense.
And he made us a good defense as well. So it's so he's done his job well from that angle. And I think he's got Ron to thank for a lot of that because he took a lot of shit for that. Keeping him on. Yeah. He was getting so much grief. And JDR, all he got, he got a big fine. He got $100,000 fine, I think, and then he also got obviously forced off social media. But to fair play to Jack, he stayed off it. I mean, fair play to him, you know. So as long as he keeps doing that, then we're gonna have no problems with him. I think, yeah, he's done well to stick around. Hell yeah, but I do think he's obviously earned his position. It's not just being like protected by Ron, but also Ron, the head coach, and Ron, the man, the team player, took a lot of the hit for him as well. So I do think he does owe Ron a lot for that. But he's also dead chilled, isn't he? Like you see him now in press conferences now. Oh, JDR's dead chilled out, isn't he? Yeah, he's just a different guy. He must feel like he's just like, oh yeah, this is nothing now. This is all right, and there's no scrutiny on him anymore. It's all about the football only, and he's doing well. He's doing a good job. He is organising a really good defense. So yeah, long may they continue. And he was also happy as well to lose the assistant head coach title as well when Bieniemy came, because JDR was assistant head coach as well. So
yeah, he was. You're right. Yeah.
So he technically took a demotion really to let Bieniemy take the assistant head coach role. Now it might be only in title, but the thing is,
I'll be honest with you. With them titles, I think we're like passing game coordinator, these sort of things.
Yeah, but they're nothing then. But that one isn't though. The assistant head coach is like
it's a big deal. It's a big deal
for Bieniemy. For Bieniemy, it's a promotion. Mm-hmm. It's an in between. He's offensive coordinator to then head coach. No, he's an assistant head coach now. And even he said in one of his first interviews he said though it was important to have that assistant head coach title as well. So if that's important for him, and JDR was like, yeah, I don't mind as long as I don't lose any pay, which he probably didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Then it's fine. So yeah. I mean, so fair. I mean, yeah. So it's a great question, and I think JDR has done well to stick it out, but no one's even talking about it anymore. So that shows how quiet we really have been.
Yeah, but isn't that testament to the man and his coaching staff on the defensive side of the ball, and also
100%.
The players that he's had. They're all in it together. They know this system that he's playing. The 4-3 system is there as a base package. We know we play a lot of Buffalo nickel. The players balled out last year. They made it happen for him on the field. Clearly, they like him as a coach because that could have turned a lot different.
It could have.
I remember in the days.
Tools, that's what I'm saying. That'd been the end of JDR quite early on, I think.
Yeah,
if the players did that. So
I remember just not long after that came out that they were interviewing like Jonathan Allen, and it was very difficult for him to speak. You know what I mean? He was trying to be as politically correct as he possibly could be. Mm-hmm. I do remember that, obviously, as a captain, leader on the defensive side of the ball. But they haven't missed a beat. They haven't skipped a step. They played the heart out on that defensive side.
This is easy. There's no prima donnas. There's no prima donnas in that defense, man. There really isn't. There's no Terrell Owens type on there. You know what I mean? I know he's offense, but there's no prima donnas in that defense. Yeah. Or maybe, you could argue Chase, but most guys, no. I mean, and John Allen and Payne keeps them all in check, man. So, yeah, Allen won't let.
Yeah, I think he's done very well to keep his job. I think he's done really well to keep his job. And amazing, as you said, it's been a year. I didn't even realize that today. I was like, whoa, okay. Mm-hmm. So fair play, Juice, to a great question.
Especially because don't forget, look how far it is away from the actual start of the season. No, it's months away. So, so for JDR to kind of take that shit and also, Ron to take the shit like all off season, basically, until JDR actually got a chance to actually start games again, to prove his worth. It's, yeah, he owes Ron big time, I think, personally. For that
I think he does too. Absolutely. Well, we'll get into our fan questions then that are submitted. So thank you so much for bringing these in. We've already answered a few there.
They weren't fan questions.
They were, but we've tried to tie them in with our already subjects that we had in the news section. So if you've already been covered off, thank you. I appreciate it. Kyle, the Podfather, is our first question then from the Burgundy Zone. He said, what's one position on the team that's been heralded as a weakness but could be a strength this season? So I'll let you take that one first, and we'll both answer that together, I think, with different answers if we can. What are you going for, Scouse?
Good question. I think there's three positions that we can point at. I'm just thinking. I'm gonna go with the tight ends.
Oh,
Over the
okay.
tight ends, yeah, because there's three, and you're probably going to pick one of the other two that I haven't mentioned yet. It's pretty obvious. There's three areas that kind of look a bit weak, and you think, could they step up? Could they step? Could they not? And I think the way Kaliki Hudson's been playing in pre-season in the OTAs and the mandatory mini camps there. He's been getting reps with the firsts, so that means he's balling out. So that means that he might have a shot to even play as a starter, which was at the start would blow my mind because I thought it'd be Barton and Davis, but Davis obviously still out and he's probably starting another 4 weeks. To be fair, I think he's still out for another 4 to 6 weeks. So, and obviously he's got to get back up to speed. So you might see the emergence of Kaliki Hudson really, and I think maybe him and Barton might start the season if Jamin's not ready because we only play two linebackers. Let's face it. So. But again, those guys have got potential. Do you know what I mean? And I think if they can really step it up, then I think it could be them.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think that's a great shout. And obviously, John Taymans and Andy McCrory have both submitted questions on that as well. So we can expand a little bit on that. They've said, obviously, lots of names have stood out during the mini camp, but Kaliki Hudson showed out and Barton's mostly ran with the seconds, as we just said. So do you think the faith in Kaliki Hudson's finally paying off?
Well, it looks it so far. At the end of the day, it's only to say it's very early start of the off-season program, isn't it? We're only halfway through it, really. But from what I've seen so far and what they're doing with him, and also how he's actually playing at this moment. Now, again, I know there's no pads, I know there's no full contact, I know there's all those things as well, which can definitely, it might make a player drop, a level, maybe. It can happen to some people. As soon as they get the pads on, they just. Or maybe because we're not running it that much, maybe Kaliki's realizing that it's only pass only. So he's reading it a lot faster type thing. Maybe that might be the case and why he's playing well so far, are better than usual, shall we say. But I think, as I say, I think if he can continue that progression when they come back in 6 weeks, I don't see a reason why he couldn't be in there because I do think Jamin's going to be borderline to start first week of the season. He did have a scope. He had a scope on his knee, which normally doesn't take too long. But again, obviously, when you play as fast as he plays, and obviously the high impact nature of the NFL, it's a 3-month injury. Do you know what I mean? So even though normally for a normal guy like us, it'd be probably 8 weeks. You know what I mean? But for him, it's an extra month before he can get back into doing what he wants to be doing. Never mind, then he's got to get his game speed up and his back into conditioning and all the rest of it. So he might not even be ready at the start, maybe. Just depends. So if that's the case, then we're going to have Barton and then we're going to have Kaliki starting because we're going to have at least two on there. So starting.
Yeah, this linebacking core is very interesting this year. I totally agree with you. It's going to be very interesting.
From names wise, it's weak, isn't it? You think these are weak dudes, but then you've got a couple of guys in the background there. You just don't talk about. There's Drew White. I know he's injured now again, but this guy was awesome at college. You know what I mean? So I don't see a reason why maybe he could step up if he's actually becomes fit enough to play. But again, so there's these no-namers that you just might not be thinking about, and I think, and plus there's only two guys as well, so there's a smaller sample sizes in how bad can it go?
Yeah,
it's not like you've got 4 guys that you got to all connect with and be perfect with. You got 2, and DBs can help them out. But again, I do think linebacker could be one.
I'll go back to Kyle's question, and I'll take Kyle's question on board. I think it's going to be the O-line. I do think it's being looked at as quite poor, but I do think that the additions that we've made in Gates, in Wiley, in pushing Sam Cosmi to right tackle, Leno, you know what you're going to get with Leno. The only question mark for me, the out-and-out question mark, is that left guard slot and what we do with the left guard slot. But you're going to have post camp cuts. You've still got people out on the street who haven't obviously signed for various teams yet. You've got veterans out there who can fill a hole on there if we need to bring more in. But I think it could be a strength, and that's down to Eric Bieniemy's offense. It's down to 3-step drops, getting the ball out quickly. It's about screenplays. It's about making sure that Sam Howell moves the ball quickly. And if he can do that and he can move the ball quickly, we're not going to have that statuesque Carson Wentz as we had last week, who's taking last season, who's taking 7-step drops, waiting. Oh, now I'll throw the ball, and ending up getting absolutely hammered. So I think we could see that. We know fine well through social media, through Leno's wife being on social media saying that, Leno was hurt most of the season, but played through, never misses a game. Dependability and availability is always there. It's good for what you need from a left tackle. So he could do a lot better, and he could come back and be the player that we saw the year before, where we were released by the Bears, and you thought to yourself, oh, okay, have we got a bit of a steal here, at left tackle? And again, we could pick up and strengthen that even further through the cuts that happen, post training camp and post pre-season.
You just got to have some money, mate. Just got to have some money there, and
a little bit.
Yes, you got a few mil now, but Cam Kell's coming up soon, and that's going to cost us. So, but I definitely get your point. Dalton Weisner's out there. He's a really good left guard. Sorry. So, there's a lot of potential in that offensive line with a couple of vets.
Yeah,
which can be the perfect mix sometimes. Just a little bit, not all over the hill mob, like, for example, Philadelphia's O-line. No, they're all over the hill. They're all 30, 33 plus, besides maybe one guy. All the other guys.
Mailata's not old, is he?
So. I think he's about 29, 30. I mean, I don't think he's young. But obviously young compared to Lane Johnson and, Kelsey and all those dudes, yeah. But yeah, so I mean, I could definitely go with that. I think I said before, there's 3 positions. I mean, I think we've named 2 of them. The other one's tight end. So
yeah, of course it is.
You know what I mean. So we just don't know how they're going to be, what they're kind of. But again, for me, I'm hoping linebacker producers, because if they produce, we're going to have a top, probably even number one defense. If they can produce at the level that the DBs can and that the D line can, that will be. And let's face it, you won't be able to get it any easier as a linebacker playing behind those 4.
No, that line in front of you. Yeah, exactly.
I mean?
Yeah, come on now.
So,
come on now.
Yeah, exactly. If you can't play in that team, you should be in the NFL. Let's face it. So
Andy McCrory's asked us a question. He says, "Does Cam get the bag once the ownership is resolved?"
Oh, it has to be. I mean, he's got to be priority 1, man. He's got to be priority 1. If he's not, then I'll tell you what, there's going to be a lot of pissed off fans straight away from this organization against the new owners. I'll tell you that. I mean, because he's too important. He really is too important. He's probably our best. I'd probably say he's our best defender. And that's saying something, because we've got some good dudes on that team. And Cam Kill is that good. He is that good.
I agree with you. I mean, we've spoke about it ad nauseum on here about how much he's willing to get paid, what we think his wage will be. I think you're looking at 3 years, 50 something thereabouts. Maybe 55, that sort of range. And I think they're willing. I think they're willing to pay that, but it's tough. Is he Derwin James money? I don't know.
I mean, to me, as in he's that important to us, I would. If you could find the money, I'd give him it. I'd give him that bag. I'll give him that much. But he knows as well, let's face it, that he hasn't got the big national love yet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Another couple of seasons, and if his contract is up, he'd be going, yeah, I want way more than Derwin James money, because everyone's going to realize how good this dude is. So,
well, we talked about it last week, didn't we? We said that PFF had rated him the 4th best safety overall, and Defoe was in the top 10 as well.
Yeah, but look how bad Defoe was when Curl wasn't there.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that shows
you look lost. That shows you how
difference.
Good Curl is. And the thing is as well with Curl is that a lot of teams don't go anywhere near him. Like when you kind of when the quarterback's looking to throw the ball, you don't even go his side. You don't go anywhere near Cam Curl, honest to God, man, because he just stops it. He can neutralize Travis Kelce. I've not seen anyone, linebacker or DB, stop Travis Kelce. So Cam Curl do it. There's not many dudes who can do it, man. I'm telling you, and that's him playing 3 different positions as well. He doesn't just play one. The guy is ridiculously good. I mean, we need to get this guy on the contract and long term. I'm talking 5 years, man. I don't want 3 years. I want at least a 4-year extension with his contract he's already got now. So 5 years total. That's what I'm looking for.
I'd hope so.
Probably looking at 4-year extension.
70. with 40 guaranteed, something like that, maybe.
Yeah, maybe something like that. Maybe I'm thinking about maybe 50. I'm looking at I mean, if we can get him for anywhere near 15 mil, I'm taking the hands off. So anything on 15 mil per year, with maybe like a 10 mil, 15 mil signing bonus to sweeten the deal for this year. Because let's face it, he's getting paid something like 2 million this year. But he's also getting paid over 2 million in his contract this year because he's his 7th-round pick in his last year. So, give a nice little sweetener up front, like nice little 10, 15 mil bonus, signing bonus. He's going to be buzzing, because he does look after his family then properly. But I think that's what he wants. Like, I think every guy wants that first contract to look after their families, and that's why he want that big money.
Of course you do, and that's the thing with the NFL as a whole, isn't it? Once you get to that second contract, you're off your rookie deal. That contract that comes through, that first one, Terry's got it, John Allen's got it, Payne's got it. These are the ones you want where you can solidify your career and know that you never have to work again. That's it, done. You're done.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know these athletes are paid millions and millions and millions of dollars. These athletes are paid that, and we understand that, and we have to get there. I mean, okay, they're not kicking a pigskin around like bloody Lionel Messi is. I mean, that is ridiculous. Karim Benzema's deal. What was it? We worked out it was like £400,000 a minute or something ridiculous. But
some stupid.
I mean, honestly,
the thing was £400,000 a day. I think it was.
It was, it was bonkers. It was absolutely bonkers. But these guys are paid a lot of money for putting their body on the line. So, it's like any sport, really. Boxers, you'd say, would be the same. Do you know what I mean? They're doing the same thing.
The elite get paid. The elite get paid, man, in boxing. So, it's I say. And that's the thing, isn't it? It's like, I mean, NFL, your career could be over in one play.
Absolutely, yeah.
You could get a Chase Young injury. You could get an Alex Smith injury. You could get
Joe Theismann, same thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And okay, nowadays, medicine and the way things are made, the techniques, medicine's come a long, long way since the years, But the thing is that most of these guys, even if they can't come, if they get badly injured, they can't come back. Well, then they're still set for life.
Yeah.
How many hundreds have got that big contract? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
get that first big contract.
And how many hundreds of NFL stars or starlets or first-round picks, second-round picks, whatever it is, over the years have you seen just fade out into obscurity, into nothing, gone, not in the league anymore?
Yeah.
And then you look back and you think,
there's a lot of luck.
He was a great player. And yeah, of course it is. It's luck as well.
There's a lot of luck, man. The one in injury luck, there's that one. There's also scheme luck as well, because if they draft, say, a zone corner and you don't play zone, well, he's going to look like a bag of bollocks, isn't he? So he's going to be shit. He's going to lose his confidence. He's going to end up being cut, and he's going to end up having no NFL career because no one's going to take a chance on him. And then his confidence just can't come back. So Cam Dancer is one.
Yeah. And that's why Emmanuel Forbes works for us, because he's coming to, sideways and that zone.
Zone and off man, and that's what he likes to play. So,
of course it is.
That's what. So I mean, we're picking scheme fits as well. You see, so this is why the draft's good. Even though, Christian Gonzalez was the choice, but again, no one says this guy doesn't tackle. He doesn't like putting it in, even though he's a big lad. He doesn't want to throw the shoulder. I'd rather have a little skinny guy throw it in, because he's going to be 100% on every play. Gonzalez might take plays off, you know what I mean? So, and get burned because of it. So I'm happy with Forbes, to be fair.
So to answer your question, Andy, going back, yes, we do think Cam will get the bag.
He will, 100%. He will 100%. If he don't, mate, therell be riots at FedEx. I'm telling you, there'll be riots when I get there in week 1. I'm telling you now. If he's not got paid by them, mate, I'm telling you, I will be fucking. No, I don't know. I'll be knocking on Jason White's door, saying, "What the hell are you doing, bro?"
So Juice from Red Zone in the Lab, who was on with us last week, top guy. He has asked, can you have a real quarterback competition in today's NFL?
For me, it's no. You can't, because you've already got like preset thoughts on guys. So, for example, with Brissett, Brissett, oh yeah, you know what he is, you know what he's got, you know what he's going to be able to do. Nothing special, not gonna move the needle too much. Okay, then. So you want to go with the high upside guy, because the guy you don't really know much about. So already you're thinking, well, Sam Howell's going to be number 1 there. Already before anything happens, before even any of them throw a ball. If you look at other teams as well, it's the same thing. Unless you've got 2 brand new rookies come out at the same time, who are like, say, both in the same round or very close, like second and third rounder, there's going to be no real true QB competition. Because at the end of the day, the head coaches are always going to be picking their main guy first, aren't they? Let's face it. So the only time when kind of a bit pear-shaped was a bit weird for us, wasn't it? With our
Cousins and RG3,
and Cousins, because obviously Shanahan didn't want RG3, as we know. Obviously, Dan Dickhead Snyder decided to get involved, and then you got, and then Shanahan actually picked one of his own, which was Kirk Cousins. That's who he actually wanted as a quarterback. So, and even then, it wasn't really a competition. But realistically, we knew that Cousins was a better quarterback than RG3. It's just that 1 year was electrifying because no one could handle our gimmick offense that year. That's all it was. And obviously, he blew his knee and everything else, and that was the end. But real true QB competitions, you don't really see them. There's always one guy, the pecking order, always there.
Yeah, I mean, even
a young pretender, but
I do think you're right. I mean, even if you look at places like the Bucs, you'd say to yourself, well, Kyle Trask's there, and Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is the presumed starter there. Whether you like it or not, he's a first-round draft
QB
choice.
competition.
It's not.
No, they've brought him in at 10 mil, whatever it is, this season to start. Well, Trask's not going to see the field.
Yeah, no one's questioning Jordan Love at Green Bay, are they? Saying, well, it's a competition with Jordan Love. No, he's just the assumed starter. That's it. He's there.
Exactly, yeah. And
he wasn't a high draft pick, was he? What is he, second rounder?
I think he might
have been second rounder. Yeah. He was a second rounder that sat behind Rodgers for a couple of years now. I think he's actually.
I think it's close to 4.
Is it 3 years or 4? It might be.
I think because what he was going into his last year of his deal or something, but then he got under the extra year or something.
Did he not? Did he not take out? Was he not the same year as Chase Young? Possibly.
I'm unsure. To be fair.
Interesting. Anyway, I'll have to.
But yeah, man, he's not. But either way, I mean, he's waited his turn. You haven't even heard from him. Let's face it. I mean, if you're in a true QB competition, you're going to be getting, the reporters are going to be all over both of you. So the main QB and then the guy who's meant to be up his arse. He's really fighting for that true QB1 spot. You're not seeing it. No. You're not seeing it. All you saw was Rodgers. You never saw Love ever. So because everyone knew it was just Rodgers, which is fair enough because he's that damn good. To be fair, but
3-time MVP.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Love against him. No, but you see it anyway. You see it across the boards. I mean, you see maybe in New England, you might think, you've got the
Mac Jones.
You got Mac Jones and you got Zappy. Yeah, but then Zappy wasn't good when he came in. And Mac Jones is a better quarterback than him, and I still see Mac Jones as the better player. So I still think he's still QB1, even though Bill doesn't like him. But as a competition, it's still Mac Jones for me. It's nowhere near. It's not. These guys you're splitting hairs and it's all this. No. There's a big difference in quality play, and that's the problem now. Is that you don't, as a team, you don't either, unless you're looking for a true franchise QB. You're not looking to pick a guy high or to go with a ridiculous high ceiling, because if you've already got your starter, you're not going to want another guy right up his arse, putting the pressure on. Because you go, competition's good, but sometimes it's not, and it can get very competitive between them. Do you know what I mean? Which can cause fractures between teams. So you've got to get that balance right. You got to pick the right mentality guys as well, and who's grown to be a team player for a while and who's not. And look at the years ago the Skins, Sonny Jurgensen and the other dude. What's his name? The other quarterback who was fighting against him for a while, and he did not like each other. Just can't remember his goddamn name. It's got to do my head in that. But basically, it was two. But again, those two guys were fighting it out to be the QB1 for a long period of time. He would come in for a bit, Jurgensen, and then the other guy would come in for a bit. And you see what I mean? So those things would be getting swapped along. So, but those who didn't like each other, see what I mean? So that was a problem. So realistically, can you? Yes, you can technically, but very rare that you see it. Very rare.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's it is very rare that you see it unless you've maybe traded for someone who was a previous draft choice. I mean, look at the one example I could probably give you right now is Malik Willis is not challenging against Will Levis. The starter in Tennessee is,
and they're both shit.
What's his name? Tennessee quarterback.
Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill. Come on. Why didn't I know that? So yeah, I mean Tannehill is still the presumed starter. You know what I mean? It's exactly like you said. It's one of them where you're like, well, hold on a minute. You know what are we doing here? But for starting quarterbacks, especially for us, we've never had a franchise quarterback.
That's it. Billy Kilmer. Billy Kilmer was the other guy.
You got it right. Billy Kilmer. Bang on.
Yeah. So them two just did not like each other. You know what I mean? Like, so those things can go wrong at times. So it's, for me, yeah. But you're definitely right. I mean, you look across the whole NFL. There's no real true QB competition. Like, this really is legit 50-50. This is going to be either or, and just depends how well you impress.
It's bluff and bluster.
They say that, but it's not.
Yeah, it's bluff and bluster, isn't it? And we know that that's what's happened. Yeah. And that leads us on, I think, in a way, off that point, on to Christian Burt's question that he put in. He said, did Dotson say a bit too much with his Howell is QB1 quotes?
Well, I think he's just saying what he believes. I think he believes that he's QB1, and maybe he's showing it in practice that he's better than Brissett. Yeah. So
as we've just said there about,
I don't know if it's a push or to reach. I don't know, but we all know, as you said, we all know Howell's bar an injury, he's going to start week 1. As simple as that. And Brissett is a perfect mentor and a perfect backup. He's a perfect backup. That's why I didn't mind us spending $8 million on him, even though it's expensive for a backup QB.
Well, we all sat here, didn't we, saying who are we going to get in as a backup? And I think we both agreed that he was the man to do the job.
I wanted Brissett to come in.
I did too, absolutely.
Because look at the guys he's played with.
Yeah,
Tom Brady.
Can't question it. Where's he been? The Colts, the Dolphins, the Patriots, the Browns. He was better than Deshaun Watson last year, anyway.
He wasn't even that good though. But when you look at the stats, he wasn't even that good.
He wasn't great.
He didn't turn the ball over, which is what you expect from Brissett. He doesn't give away too many picks, which is solid. He's just a solid backup QB. That's what he is, So, and that's why we're all. Well, I'm all in a Howell. I mean, I was been all in a Howell for ages, but even last season I wanted him in before and Heineke and all the rest of them, but I know he wasn't ready yet. So. But yeah, I can't wait to see Howell in action, man. Honestly, man, he's going to surprise a lot of dudes.
I hope so. I really hope so. I really, really hope you're right there. Canada Mike's asked us, thanks for your question, Deuce, by the way. Canada Mike's got in with another question for us, and he said, are you like me, hoping our first offensive player of the season is a flea flicker down the line to Logan Thomas? And I've put in brackets, not Logan Paul.
Yeah, he put Logan Paul, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
I said, I didn't know he played for us, mate.
So, yeah. But are you hoping the first offensive play is a flea flicker to Logan Thomas to throw down the field? No. It's going to be a run.
It ain't going to happen. Yeah,
it's going to be a run. That's what's going to happen.
It would be nice. It would be nice to see a trick play to start, but
absolutely amazing.
Highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. I mean, I don't even think there's. I mean, has Logan even threw a ball for like 3 years?
Yeah, I think so.
Has he even thrown a ball? I've not seen him throw one in training or in games as a one-off. Do you know what I mean? So I don't even think that's even part of his skill set anymore.
Just give it to Tress Way. He's got a better QBR rating than Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah, true. I mean, but the thing is, that was Tress Way. I mean, you've never seen him do a fake punt, though, have you? Never seen him run. Never seen him throw the ball.
Yeah, he's throwing the ball. He's got a better. He's got a better QBR
in one pass.
He's got a better QBR.
Is he had like one pass in his career or something? That what it is?
I think so.
I can't remember. I can't remember him throwing a ball, mate.
Definitely. I remember.
Fair enough. I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard him talk about it as well, so it's quite interesting. But no, I think he's going to first play, Mike, to answer your question. I think it's going to be a run play, definitely.
I'm going to put my neck out and say it's a screenplay.
Oh, good shout. So no stats, no justification in it, but after the mini camp, are you two coming around to the fact that maybe winning 12 games this season? He's very optimistic, isn't he?
He is, to be fair.
Massively optimistic.
I do like it. I do like it, but I'm also a realist as well. And
no,
mate, no, just no, bro, just no.
Not 12 wins, no.
Yeah, I mean, that if we get anywhere near that, I would be well happy. I mean, if I have 10 wins, to be
10
fair,
wins, I think is fair. I think that's a fair reflection.
Did you see that table out on Twitter mentioned the last time each NFL team got 11 wins in a season.
Oh yeah, I did see.
Did you see that?
19 was it
1991 for us, mate.
Yeah.
The next worst was 2007.
Wow.
That's the next worst, and that's the Jags.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. 2007 last time Jags got 11 wins plus season. And we're worst 1991, bro. It's a disgrace, man. It's an absolute disgrace. And it's all Dan Snyder's fault. I mean, let's face it, I'm blaming him for all of it, but I'm blaming it all on him. Not the players, just on him. But the thing is, I mean, that has to change, man. And so I understand why he's hoping for these 12-win seasons. If we get 11, we break a bloody 40-year, 50-year record, 40-year record. What is it? 91. So what's 01, 2, 1, 2, yeah, 30 years, 30 plus. Madness, man.
Mental.
Madness.
Andy Burrows has asked us a question from the Bunker Pod. Shout out to Burrows. He said, does it worry you that the ownership talk has gone very quiet?
No, not at all. Because for me, we shouldn't know the ins and outs of this. It's like anybody else going to buy, any transaction. Oh, by the way, I'm just gonna ring up the fans and let them know that every single step of the way. They don't need to do that. They just need to tell us, yes, we're going to buy it by a certain date, and leave the rest to us. And that's basically what they've done. I mean, they've refinanced because obviously the NFL weren't happy with the way they were financing it originally, and they found another way to finance it for the $6 billion that they need. They sorted in only 2 weeks how the restructure. So these guys know what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? So. I'm not worried at all. I mean, there's 2 dates that have been penciled in for team meetings not team meetings, for ownership to come for meeting. Yeah. And one's the 8th of August. I remember that one because that's the last day. And then one's like the 27th or something like that of July.
27th of July, yeah. It's my birthday, so happy days.
Is it?
That's what I want.
The 8th of August is my dad's birthday. So yeah, so it's quite mad then, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. But to be fair, I'll take that as my birthday if that's the day that see Dan Snyder gone permanently. I'll take that right now. And
that's the first day of training camp, that.
Which 27th of July?
27th, yeah.
Well, that'll be a perfect day to get it done, wouldn't it? If the owners meeting all agree, it's signed, sealed, delivered, all approved the sale, then by the 8th it'll be done.
Actually, I don't know if that is the first day of training camp, but I think it's the first day of training camp that's open to fans. So that'll be quite interesting to see. I know that they've got. I think
it'd be the 8th of August. I think there might be a provision, or maybe they even do the vote on the 27th, but that won't be the end bit. There's still got to be loose ends to tie up, and then I reckon 8th of August, mate, that is going to be the day, because that's the last day in the 90-day period that they were given to buy it as well. So that's the other reason why the 8th of August is there. All right. So it's because I think it started off in May, and you had 90 days, and it works out it's the 8th of August. It's the very last day. So it'll be done on the day, I think. I think it'll be completely 100% everything signed, sealed, delivered on the 8th. That's my prediction.
I like that. So I've got 2 to finish us off with that are quite funny. So we'll go with these 2. So the first one is from Burrows again. It says, if you had to create a Washington Avengers from the current content creators, who would they be and why? My Avengers is terrible. I don't really watch Avengers. Not into it at all.
I don't watch any of that shit.
Do you not watch Avengers either?
Marvel and Avengers. This is a hard one, man.
We're going to struggle with this then. Struggle to answer your Burrows.
Extremely,
We've failed miserably on this question.
I don't even know which one's Captain America. Is he Marvel, or is he?
No, I've got Scooby.
Part of the Avengers. I mean, I don't remember, man. I don't watch shit like that. So it's
I think it's because he'd just been and watched the new Flash film, hasn't he? And he had that in his head. I think that's probably where he's. Right.
Sorry, Burrows, but there's one question we can't answer, man. That's you got us there because I don't know shit about it.
But who's in your top 10 of content creators? Well, it's everybody that's with us at 305 this season.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. There's a lot of dudes. There's a lot of people.
If you're there, you're there. If you're not there, you're not there. Even Doug's going now, so come on, man. Shout out to Doug as well. So we've got a lot of.
Is he Big Doug coming?
Yeah, Big Doug's coming. Yeah, we've got a lot of content. We've got a lot of content creators turning up on game day 1. So we'll all be there, and we'll be in the red zone lot, or we'll be in 305. You can catch us at both. So yeah, looking forward to that one. Sweet. And the last question, I don't know if we should have this one, was the Podfathers question.
Oh no, this is no. Go on then.
All right, if you were gay. And which player on the team would you have coitus with, shall we say?
Oh, mate. What kind of question is that, bro?
I don't know.
That's definitely a Reed question.
It's a Mike Reed question.
That's a
isn't it?
Mike Reed question.
Definitely.
100%,
It's a Mike
man.
Reed
That's
question. Yeah.
That's not Kyle.
That's not Kyle. No, that's a Mike Reed question.
Shit.
Are you going to plead?
I would know, man. I would know. I mean, don't
Well,
swing that way. Do you know what I mean?
We all know Jesse's. That's going to be Tamarick Hemingway, but you know.
Oh yeah. Well, he's already been there. He's been there and done that. He might want something else. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to think, really. Who'd you say is good looking?
Yeah, Benjamin St. Juice.
Yeah, I can say Juice good looking. I mean, he's got earrings, so for me, that kind of puts me off any dude.
I'm trying to think of who's the most effeminate looking bloke.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Oh,
you stopped us here,
that's grim.
Yeah,
that's
that is
grim.
grim. I don't want to think about this. I mean, each to their own, you know, whatever you choose to love and whoever you choose to love, absolutely fine by us, no problem. But you know, it's not.
It's just difficult when you're not don't swing that way. It's just difficult.
It's not my cup of tea.
About it, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's the only thing. I mean, each to their own, innit?
Exactly.
I mean, who'd you say that's good looking? I don't think.
What you thinking now, haven't I?
Got me thinking, yeah. Who's actually a good looking dude in that team?
Yeah, tough one. So we'll move on then.
Cheesing with his long neck.
Tressway. Joey Sly because he's jacked.
Yeah, because he's jacked. Yeah, it depends on kind of the guy you like. Do you like skinny guy like Dax Milne, or do you like ripped guys?
Forbes. Yeah. Well, there you go. There's one. The young lad Dax Milne. There you go. Maybe.
There's a guy who's average looking compared to the rest of them.
Well, he's banging girlfriends and he's at Wilson's girlfriend. So fair play to him.
Well, it's not Zach Wilson's girlfriend anymore.
Well, not anymore. Yeah, and we'd like to keep you on. We'd like to keep you on because your gene pool's very good. So if your sister's involved, happy days, Dax Milne. Please stay. Anyway, other sisters are available. We'll move on then to our team breakdown. And for the second week, we're doing a bit of a team breakdown. This time we're looking at the defensive line. Last week we looked at the offensive line. This week we'll look at the D line. So obviously D line, we have a base 3-4-D, and we'll look at left defensive end.
Which you hardly ever play, by the way.
I know.
4-3.
The left defensive end is Chase Young as the starter. The second is James Smith-Williams. Then we have KJ Henry, and then we have Andre Jones, our 7th round pick. Left D tackle, Daron Payne. Then we have Phil Mathis, and then we have David Barder. Right DT, we have Jonathan Allen. Then we have John Ridgway. We have Benning Potato, as I like to call him. And fourth, we have Abdullah Anderson. And then at right D end, we have Montez Sweat, FAO Barder, Casey Tuchel, and William Bradley King.
I mean,
I think the depth is very good.
The depth is solid.
Yeah,
I mean, the only guys you probably think, maybe like the third string D tackles, maybe a little bit, Barder and Potato. Those guys are not. They are not designed to be playing. Let's face it, they're designed like 1 or 2 snaps max, and that's basically them. Per game maximum. Obviously, Ridgway's still out with a pec tear, so obviously we don't know when he's going to come back.
He's been training, hasn't he? So been doing full drills.
Has he been doing full drills?
Yeah, seen him last week doing full drills. Yeah, so.
So you think he could be back ready to play week 1? Then you reckon properly, fully?
Yeah, but Phil Mathis as well. You've got to remember Phil Mathis is there. I know he's obviously relief of.
Yeah, I mean, if
John
I was going to predict it, it's going to be Allen Payne, obviously, and then the next 2 are going to be them 2. But who'd come in as the third one, and then the fourth, if that makes sense? I think Mathis would be third. I think Ridgway would be fourth, if that was the. Where you're picking it,
if you go into
who's the first reliever, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, at the moment, you're looking at the tackles. You've got Federian Mathis is Daron Payne's relief, and Ridgway is John Allen's relief, which I think is very good depth there, especially with them 2 seconds. So
I can't believe we got Ridgway for
unreal
off the practice squad. Cheers, mate.
With them 2 at defensive tackle, I think that's fantastic depth there. I mean. Even in the DNs, I mean, the relief for Chase Young, you've got KJ Henry is third. James Smith-Williams is assumed as second. I agree with that. You're not going to have your rookie draft pick higher than someone who's already been established. But James Smith-Williams came in last season and did really well. You know, he did really well last year.
Yeah,
There was nothing wrong with
Tuhill's
him.
okay as well. Tuhill
Yeah.
stood up well for when Chase Young was out. Now between those two, Tuhill and Smith Williams, between the two,
So they've got him on
covered for Chase very well. You know, so
they've got him on the right D end as well. So in relief of Montez Sweat, we've got Obada and Tuhill.
I think they're quite fluid though. Really, if you think about it, because
I do too. Yeah.
You know, besides Young and Sweat, they very rarely switch over, but all the other guys switch over. You know, they play wherever there's a space. Let's face it. You know, if Chase needs a breather, then one of the guys comes in.
Yeah, so I think looking at this,
both need a breather. You know.
Looking at this depth chart, I think when you're getting down to the fourth stringers, you know, I think we're looking William Bradley King. You probably say, yeah, okay, I could see him definitely making the roster. He's made the roster before, but maybe practice squad. But Abdullah Anderson, yeah, you're struggling there. And then Andre Jones, you know, our 7th round draft pick is, you know, fourth.
You just don't know what he's. You just don't know what he is yet. That's the problem with him. He's total mystery box, isn't he? Let's face it. He's got some athleticism. That's what we've seen. He can get sideline to sideline, but is he actually any good? That's the only thing with Andre Jones.
And do you see all of them making the draft picks making the roster? Because that's one I maybe don't see making the roster.
Well, you reckon Jones?
I don't think he will.
Might be the one.
I really don't think he will.
I mean,
but he might do because he's a rookie, and because we've said we'll pick you, we'll take that chance on you. But
I'd say I think it depends on how you organize it as the 53.
Yeah,
or including the practice squad with that.
I think if he goes onto the practice squad, that's a given. I think he'll definitely be there. No doubt about it.
That's what I think. And unless he balls out in the next set of training when he get back in 6 weeks, he probably will be a practice squad guy. Let's face it. But if he balls out or we get an injury that we don't know about, then he'll be on the 53. I think he's a borderline guy at the moment. But again, it's we just need to know what he's all about. Really, we need to know what he can do.
For me, I think he's
probably the
bottom of the barrel,
the odd one out.
Yeah,
maybe the odd one out. But again, 7th rounder. Cam Kill was a 7th rounder. Smith Williams was a 7th rounder. Who's doing a 7th rounder as well? Who's on the team? Bradley King. You know, Chaka Tony, even though he's out for the season. Those guys have made the roster and they're 7th round picks. So it doesn't mean that this guy can't do it. So
no, I get that, and I'm not going to say he's not. I just think because we've now got that depth there, I think we're going to struggle.
It's definitely a harder one to get in. It's definitely a harder one to get on the team, and
especially as you said, when the DNs are quite fluid, as you said, you've got your Tuhills, you've got your Bradley Kings, you've got your FAO Bardas, you know, who we've just signed to a new deal. You know, we've paid him money. You're going to struggle a bit going down there if everyone remains fit and raring to go. I mean, obviously
that's the hard part. But
it's Montez.
The only thing that's guaranteed in NFL injuries. So
correct. Yeah, you're
just depends where and who. That's all, and when. You know what I mean?
Agreed. So that just about wraps us up, Scouse. There's not much more to talk about. I mean, I honestly did not think we would get an hour's pretty much worth of chat out this week. Somehow we've managed to do it. So thank you again to everyone who
it's the fans,
questions.
Man. The fans give us the questions.
They're keeping us going.
Keeps us going, man. Yeah, 100%.
Going to be a tough 6 weeks, I think, mate. It's going to be a tough 6 weeks.
Yeah,
if there's not a lot to talk about, but hopefully, maybe we'll see some movement on the sale, and maybe we'll see a bit more going on in the background, maybe off the field. If you are going to training camp on them new bleachers, enjoy it, have fun, you know what I mean? But enjoy the off season while it's there, you know, while they get their vacation. Thanks very much, everyone, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye.